All right, I'll call to order the City of Milton Common Council meeting this Wednesday, April 8th at 6 p.m. Can I get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice? Stand by.
Nope.
We were working at plan commission, so.
I'm the only one that can speak tonight. All right.
Is it good? No?
I think everybody's out. There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Aye.
They're still off?
Right.
Ours are on.
Order.
Oh.
She's bringing a handheld.
Is this working? Okay. Well, we have a handheld at least. That's
So that's for Mark.
We just need two of
Just
them.
need marks.
We're just gonna hand this to Mark.
Mike's for marks.
and make sure and turn it on when he gets in.
Sounds like a new number.
Okay, we're back.
No, this is part of the minutes. The
Yep.
meeting's been started.
A meeting notice was posted at Milton City Hall, Milton Piggly Wiggly, and Hometown Ace Hardware.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance.
Approve the agenda first. Motion to approve the
Sorry,
agenda.
everybody sit down again. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry about that. Number 4, public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action. Has anyone signed in?
No one is signed in as of 6 p.m.
Okay. Number 5, mayoral proclamation, Arbor Day. I'm not going to read this, but I will be proclaiming April 20th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Milton. I'll sign this, have it available for anybody that would like a copy. We'll post it online. Number 6, approval of consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, discussion and possible action regarding acting as fiscal agent for the Milton Youth Coalition.
The Milton Youth Coalition has asked the City of Milton to continue to serve as the fiscal agent for administration of the Drug-Free Communities Grant in the next grant cycle that they intend to apply for. By serving as the fiscal agent for the Drug-Free Communities Grant, the City of Milton would essentially be responsible for all administration, accounting, and employment related to all grant activities. The city has operated as the fiscal agent for the last 5 years. For the fiscal impact, currently the city receives $6,250 per year, 5% of the yearly grant award. This covers the city's expenses. Recommended motion would be to make a motion to continue acting as the fiscal agent for the Milton Youth Coalition for the next grant cycle and approve the memorandum of understanding.
I make a motion that the city acts as fiscal agent for the Milton Youth Coalition for the next grant cycle and approve the memorandum of understanding.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding a request from Junction Pub at 130 Merchant Row for a temporary amendment to Class B liquor and Class B fermented malt beverage license premises and special event permit for the Caden Williams Awareness Benefit on April 25th, 2026. Jenny has a statement she's going to read, but before that, I'm making you all aware this is on the agenda for road closure, and also it is within that 30-day window that we talked about previously, but it's for good reason. So go ahead, Jenny.
Yes, so Junction Pub has submitted the request for the temporary amendment to their existing liquor license at their license premise at 130 Merchant Row. This one is a little bit different than our standard special event permit. So with the special event permit, there's actually two levels of this. So what they are planning to do is have an event on April 25th, and they will have the entrance be at the front of Junction Pub, and the tent will be in the back, and then it will be one entrance. So only through the front, not through the tent. With that, since there is an existing liquor license on the premises, then they are asking to extend it temporarily. So this has gone through the liquor license process where the notice has been published in the paper. They have indicated they are going to sell beer in that area, but they also can have beverages going back and forth. So staff has not indicated any issues with that, but the special event permit is because the tent will be on public property for that reason. So there is two items that Jeremy Paulson has submitted. One is a petition for temporary street closure. And so Stacy's Beverage Mart, Frederick Supper Club, Bank of Broadhead, Milton have indicated they are in support of this street closure. And then a letter. Good evening, my name is Jeremy Paulson, and I'm here today on behalf of Junction Pub and our community. I truly appreciate you taking the time to hear me out. I'm here to ask for your approval to temporarily shut down First Lane behind Junction Pub for a very important reason. We are organizing a benefit event for Caden Williams, a member of our community who is currently fighting cancer. Caden and their family are going through an incredibly difficult time, and like many small communities, when one of our own is hurting, we come together to help. This benefit is our way of supporting them, emotionally, financially, and by showing that they are not alone in this fight. Closing First Lane would allow us to safely host this event, accommodate more people, and create a space where the community can gather, donate, and show support. We are committed to making sure this is done responsibly. We will follow all safety guidelines, ensure proper traffic control, and minimize any inconvenience to nearby residents and businesses. This is more than just an event. It's a chance for our city to come together for a cause that truly matters. Your approval would help us make a meaningful difference in someone's life during one of their toughest battles. We respectfully ask for your support in allowing this temporary street closure so we can host this benefit successfully. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and for everything you do for our community.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Mark or Chief on this? Or
I make a motion to amend Junction Pub's Class B liquor and Class B fermented malt beverage licenses on April 25th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and close First Lane from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on April 25th and approve the special event permit.
A second.
we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Only discussion I have is the last event they did, they raised over $60,000 for that last benefit. And I give a big shout out to Jeremy and all that for he's doing. Thank you.
All right, then. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Number 9, discussion and possible action regarding transferring the residential exterior improvement grant for 528 East Madison Avenue.
Brooks and Katie Gallman, 528 East Madison Avenue, have requested clarification on the residential exterior improvement program and the ability to transfer the grant approval to a new owner of the property. Brooks and Katie Gallman have received approval from the CDA and the Common Council for a 2026 residential exterior improvement grant, the amount of $10,000 to rebuild the porch at their home at 528 East Madison Avenue. After approval of the grant, Brooks and Katie Gallman indicated they have made an offer to purchase another home within the city and would like to sell their current home. Katie and Brooks Gallman are requesting clarification on whether the grant approval is tied to the property, the applicant, or both. Katie and Brooks Gallman would like to request to transfer the grant to the new owner of the home if they meet the requirements of the grant program. They would like to include the grant approval in the marketing of their house. For fiscal impact, there would be no additional expense would occur for the city if the grant is approved for the property or for the person applying. City administration makes no recommendation regarding this request. The CDA, however, did sit and discuss this thoroughly on Monday and did make a motion to recommend to the council that they are allowed to transfer that to the new owner, provided the new owner meets all the criteria of the grant program and uses the same contractor as was approved through the original grant. So essentially, same grant, 100%, just a different person if they qualify.
Any questions or comments?
Correct me if I'm wrong, don't they need to be in the house a certain amount of time before they qualify?
The Common Council changed that about 2 years ago
To
to no time.
zero time.
As long as they're their primary residence.
Oh,
I think the thought process behind it was, it doesn't matter how long you live in the house. If you want to improve the house and improve a blighted property in the city,
great.
more power to you.
Yeah.
Would it matter if it was a family or an individual or an investor?
If it would not be the primary home, then they would not qualify for the grant. It has to be their primary home.
Got it. Thank you.
But to your point, as that was discussed on Monday, of the potential when we have this opened up like that, the potential of somebody going in there to make it their primary, flip the place, use the grant money, and sell it. There is a potential that could happen in the future, but we all, as a group, kind of agreed that it was a very minor potential that would actually happen.
I would also like to point out, nowhere in the grant says you have to keep the home. If the timing was 2 months different, they could do the construction, receive the grant, sell the home. So
I think the point of the grant is to improve the property, to improve its value, so it improves our tax base. So, given that, I would move to approve the transfer of the residential exterior improvement grant for 528 East Madison Avenue.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say
I
aye.
have a question.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Ken, can you you said for that particular address, correct? Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, finish. I will point out that the CDA is looking at modifying their program guidelines to have this clause in there in the future, but that will be discussed by at a future meeting.
So we're going to vote again. Any other comments, questions, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 10, discussion and possible action regarding a request to increase court costs for municipal court.
This request came from Judge Chris Keffler. Assembly Bill 443 was signed into law on March 20th, 2026 by Governor Evers. The bill allows local jurisdictions the ability to increase the permissible threshold for municipal court fees by up to $10. This cost would be borne by the party found guilty of the ordinance violation. The last increase in permissible fee was in 2013. Recommendation for the court costs for the Milton Municipal Court to be increased from $38 to $48 to be effected if approved by City Council on April 9th, 2026.
Questions, comments, or motion?
I make a motion to approve the increase of court fees or court costs of $10 starting April 9th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 11, discussion and possible action regarding the 2026 City of Milton Comprehensive Plan.
The City of Milton has completed a full update of its comprehensive plan, which establishes the policy framework to guide land use, development, and municipal decision-making over the next 20 years. The plan reflects extensive public engagement, including workshops, surveys, and stakeholder outreach, and incorporates current best practices in planning, sustainability, and economic development. The document outlines a vision for balanced and sustainable growth, identifies key areas for redevelopment and conservation, and provides policy directions for housing, transportation, parks, utilities, and community facilities. The updated comprehensive plan reflects extensive community input and establishes a clear framework for managing Milton's growth, guiding land use decisions, and aligning future zoning and development patterns with community priorities. Key issues addressed include the need for balanced growth, diverse housing options, coordinated infrastructure, and transportation planning, and preservation of environmental, historic, and recreation assets. The plan also emphasizes economic development opportunities and quality of life improvements, while providing an implementation strategy that supports informed decision-making by the Common Council and the Plan Commission over the next decade. Key areas include public engagement. Over 170 residents participated in a survey providing input that shaped the land use strategies and community priorities. Land use and zoning. The plan proposes updates to land use categories and future zoning adjustments to support sustainable development patterns. Transportation and infrastructure. Recommendations include multimodal transportation improvements, roadway enhancements, and connectivity initiatives. Environmental and historic resources. The plan prioritizes the preservation of sensitive natural areas, floodplains, and historic landmarks. And a detailed implementation schedule identifies responsible timelines, performance measures, and ensures effective execution. The adoption of the comprehensive plan itself has no direct fiscal impact. Implementation of plan recommendations may require future budget allocations or grant funding, which will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Recommended motion, City Administration recommends approval of the comprehensive plan. I will say Plan Commission met at 4 o'clock today. They've been integral in reviewing this plan throughout the process, and they voted unanimously to recommend to approve the comprehensive plan to the City Council.
Just that there was some really good discussion today, I thought, about some of the issues in there, and also throughout this whole process. I've been fairly impressed with the company that we've hired to put this together. The comprehensive plan is easy to read. The last one you could get bogged down, and I was impressed by the different ways that they gathered information, not just in the traditional focus groups and things like that. They would come out of community days with different ways to assess the needs of the community and the desires of the community. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, somebody throw up a motion.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 City of Milton Comprehensive Plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? The motion carries. Number 12, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 2026-584, an ordinance annexing property from the town of Milton.
The attached ordinance is for annexation of the triangle, as it's known, between Stearns Road and John Paul Road for construction of Sunset Drive. The work along this area was agreed to between the City of Milton and the Town of Milton in an intergovernmental agreement that was entered into in 2009. The project is a replacement of a lift station to combine two lift stations into one site, as well as eliminating that section at the intersection of John Paul and Stearns Road. No fee for the annexation. Expenses are limited to staff and consultant time to prepare the legal descriptions, the exhibits, and the ordinance. City Administration recommends approval of Ordinance 2026-584. Of an ordinance requires a first, second, and third reading and a motion to adopt. If the council prefers, the second and third reading may be waived at the same time the first reading is completed.
Thank you, Mark.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-584, approve the first reading, waive the second and third reading, then adopt.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. 13, discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2026-06, creating City of Milton Ward 13.
So upon approval of the previous discussed annexation, then an additional ward will need to be created. And the city of Milton currently consists of 12 election wards established through the redistricting process approved in October 2021, along with subsequent annexations from the town of Milton. The parcel proposed for annexation is located within Rock County Supervisory District 6, while the most of the city, it lies within Rock County Supervisory District 5. Because the parcel is non-contiguous to existing wards within District 6, the creation of an additional ward is required. The attached resolution completes this, and city administration recommends approval of resolution 2026-06, creating City of Milton Ward 13. Also, there is information in the fiscal impact that is incorrect. There is no charge for this process, just city staff time to share the information with multiple organizations within the state.
Thank you, Jenny. Any questions for Jenny or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-06.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, discussion and possible action on ordinance 2026-585, an ordinance amending section 70-182 of the Code of Ordinances.
The subject ordinance designates through truck routes for trucks over 30 feet in length and more than 12,000 pounds in gross weight. The proposed amendment removes two street segments that no longer exist, adds Vickerman Road, and cleans up language related to the connecting highway section of State Highway 59. There is no fiscal impact beyond staff and legal counsel time for preparation of the ordinance. City administration recommends approval of ordinance 2026-585.
Any questions or a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the ordinance 2026-585, ordinance amending section 70-182 of the Code of Ordinances, and to waive the second, third readings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. 15, discussion and possible action regarding a change order for the TID number 7 infrastructure improvements.
TID number 7 infrastructure improvement project did not get completed in the fall. The bulk of the remaining work exists on Merchant Row. This change order is to extend the time to allow for completion of the work, as well as adjusting some prices due to unknown water service sizes that were discovered during construction, and as well as some curb and gutter work that needed to be completed. The attached change order does provide an increase of $10,205. The expenses are funded by the Tax Incremental Financing District number 7. City administration recommends approving change order number 1 for the TID number 7 infrastructure improvements.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve change order, the change order for TID number 7 infrastructure improvements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. 16, resolution 2026-07, honoring Ryan Holbrook for public service to the city of Milton. This is Ryan's last meeting with us, so I will read this resolution out loud. Resolution 2026-07, resolution recognizing and honoring Alderperson Ryan Holbrook for public service to the city of Milton. Whereas Ryan Holbrook served the city of Milton as an alderperson from April 2016 through April 2026, demonstrating a decade of commitment to public service and the residents of the community. And whereas throughout his tenure on the Common Council, Ryan Holbrook actively participated in regular and special meetings, contributing to the thoughtful decision-making, policy development, and the overall governance of the city. And whereas Ryan Holbrook provided leadership and service on numerous committees and boards, including the Historic Preservation Commission, Community Development Authority, Public Safety Committee, Public Works Committee, Ethics Board, and Policy and Procedures Ad Hoc Committee, offering valuable insight and dedication across a wide range of municipal functions, And whereas during this time in office, Ryan Holbrook played an important role in key organizational efforts, including assisting with the hiring of several city leadership positions, including the city administrator, police chief, city clerk, city treasurer / human resources specialist, and public works director. And whereas Ryan Holbrook contributed to the major policy and planning initiatives that will have a lasting impact on the city of Milton, including the approval of the 2025 through 2029 strategic plan and the adoption of the updated zoning ordinances approved in April 2025. And whereas his commitment to responsible governance, community development, and public service has helped support the continued growth and success of the City of Milton. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the City of Milton Common Council hereby acknowledges and honors Ryan Holbrook for his 10 years of distinguished service as alderperson, approved by the Common Council of the City of Milton this 8th day of April 2026. Thank you, Ryan. So if someone will make that motion.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-07 honoring Ryan Holbrook for public service to the City of Milton.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
The motion carries. And we'll roll right into general items. And I told Ryan I would let him have the floor.
I was over the last 10 years. I was thinking about this the last couple months, but mostly in the last week, really, of my 10 years on council. And the one thing that I remember coming up the most was talking about like growth and small town feel. And I know in the last election it came up a lot in there too. Everybody's seen it and stuff like that. And so I was kind of wanted to put together some words on that as I was thinking about it. Just thought it might be helpful, maybe. And I actually ended up writing this about an hour ago because that was when it really kind of came more in my head. So, first of all, growth is necessary to survive. Currently, in this modern day and age, growth is necessary. We have to grow. If we don't grow, everything stagnates, and things fall apart when things stagnate. 10 years ago, when I first got on council, our city was struggling with the aftermath of stagnation. I mean, GM plant leaving, things like that. We went through a period of time where we had 10 years of no new development in the city as far as housing goes and stuff like that. Our city was stagnating. Our budget was not as healthy as it is now. Now it's significantly healthier. The city staff, councils, things like that over the years have worked hard to help us thrive, but that's required growth to do so. And you kind of need to keep that growth going. We need to keep growing, but we need to control that growth. Don't let it go out of whack or go crazy, because that just kind of makes things fall apart in a different aspect. But you need that growth to cover things like insurance costs for the city and stuff like that. If we don't bring in new money, we don't have a way of handling those increased costs. So I wanted to start there. And manage growth that keeps the city healthy and vibrant without letting it get out of control. And then also, over those 10 years, I've heard that we want to keep our small town feel. And some people have decried the growth, saying it is counter to that. And I kind of want to counter that to some extent. So small town feel does not come from the physical size of the city, but from the people in the city. So it's not about the size of the city that matters as far as small town feel. It comes from those who live in the city providing that small town feel. Our small town feel does not come from the physical size of the city, but from the people in the city. It does not really matter how big our city gets when it comes to a small town feel. We could be 30,000 people. We could be 500 people and still have that same feel in the city. It comes from knowing your neighbors and supporting them in times of need, or lifting them up when not in times of need. It comes from the plethora of activities that are going on in the city. It comes from all the wonderful nonprofits we have in the city. In a more tangible sense, it comes from who we hire as staff for the city. This is what it creates that small town feel. The small town feel is lost when we don't take the effort to get to know our neighbors, when we stop going to or supporting activities, when we stop supporting or volunteering for nonprofits, when we hire the wrong people, when we stop helping those in our community in need, such as when a small child is lost. Once we stop doing those things, the small town feeling is lost, and it's hard to recover. So I want to just kind of, as I said, point those things out, that we need growth to survive, And growth in the city does not necessarily correlate to small town feel being lost. It's the people in the city that give us a small town feel. It's the people in the city that no matter how big we get, we'll always keep that small town feel as long as the people in the city are willing to put the effort in to do that. So, just want to say that.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you for your public service. Not just on the council and what you've done here, but even when I first started out, you're such a valuable resource and always willing to assist and help support. So you'll be missed.
Feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Any other general items? Okay, moving on. Committee reports then. Does anyone have a committee report to share?
Well, the Plan Commission met tonight, but you saw everything we did, which is pretty much par for the course for Plan Commission. Kind of comes from one up, straight up, guys.
Thank you, Ken.
CDA met, we talked about the Brooks grant, gave the recommendation to council as we did. And then we also talked about the transferability of a grant for the future for policy to change that. So we have a change of the policy. And then we also had good discussion of what Molly brought up for the lead-based stuff and really talked that through. So
Great, thank you.
Historic Preservation meets next week.
All right. Anyone else?
But you're still required to go.
Yes, you are.
Till we find a replacement.
Let's talk about that. All right, staff reports then. Mark, if you want to grab your microphone.
I know how to work it now too. Merchant Row, TID 7 project, you'll see work starting that here in the next week or two. Obviously the 2026 street utility projects, John Paul, Stearns Road, that's progressing very well. I think the contractor is doing a good job of coordinating the work with the parties necessary, whether that's residents, the school, the city, or the town. And then Vickerman Road project will start, or has started. They're starting with lane widening that's required by the DOT for improvements to the intersection at 59 in Vickerman Road, and when that's complete, they'll be moving on to work along Vickerman Road.
All right. Thank you. Paul?
I'll just add on the TID 7 Merchant Row project, the city has reached out to the businesses on Merchant Row to give them the timeline and to make sure they're informed. We've done that through the mail, and we've also reached out to the chamber because the chamber was a great assistance in the fall during this project. So we are going to keep our communication open with the businesses. The city also does plan on placing signs on Madison Avenue to indicate that businesses are still open during construction, to make sure that everyone's aware of that, and we're trying to affect the businesses as least as possible. Second, I want to speak about a public meeting that we had with Milton Youth Football and surrounding neighbors on the potential football site up there by well number 5 on Janesville Street. I think it was an excellent meeting. A lot of different voices were heard. I think the public walked away feeling heard, which was really the main point that I wanted to have out of that meeting. The following week, Mark and I met with the engineers for Milton Youth Football and incorporated a lot of the ideas that the public that is going to be surrounding that area were interested in into the plan set. So I think that the public will be happy with the final product that's presented to them. I do plan on having another public meeting once those engineering plans are being a little bit more complete to make sure they're still part of this project and part of the planning of it. So that's what I have. I'd also like to thank Jenny Salvo and our team for running an excellent, smooth election yesterday. Very good. Jenny, we appreciate you and all the work you do on that.
Thank you, Paul. And Jenny?
Well, I won't start with the election update. But I will say for our system that we are working through, so I just want to give a little bit update with that and where we're at. So in budgetary costs, we went with our local IT contractor for review. And one of the items that was brought up is basically our connections and if it's just new equipment or if it's connections. So I have met with two different companies that specialize specifically in this type of work, and they are doing analysis and they are also looking at our plans to see what options are available and what the best option will be moving forward. So again, that's kind of where we're at with that. And on a positive note, the spring election is complete. It went really smoothly yesterday, and everything went really well with the Badger book, so I'm really excited for that. We had a total of 1,428 voters out of 3,514 registered voters at the beginning of the day. We also had an additional 45 voters that registered on the day of. The flow throughout the day was really great. There was very few times that we had more than 4 or 5 people in line, so it was a very positive experience. And I want to say thank you to the Department of Public Works for bringing my signs down, City Hall staff for everything that they do during the election, and the police department for their support not only during the election itself for safety security, but also for prepping and before the election. And then also a huge thank you to our election officials. We have the most amazing election officials in the city of Milton, and for all of their hard work, and for this year especially for spending quite a lot of time training on the Badger books. So I've already started jotting down a few notes that they were able to give me to use for future elections. So one really great benefit of the Badger books is voter participation recording, and normally that takes me at least a few days to do. I am excited to report that voter participation for the city of Milton has been uploaded, so if you go to myvote.wi.gov, you can see that information is already in there, so it's really exciting.
All right, thank you. Ashley.
We have a new addition to Story Gardens. A garden kaleidoscope was installed yesterday, 2 days ago. So please come down and take a look at that. There's 3 different viewing scopes through it. Right now there's just like pine cones and stuff in it and sticks, but we hope once the flowers bloom we'll have flowers in it. And then we have 28 eggs in an incubator in our Spark, our makerspace. Thanks to Stacy Skemp and our ag students at the high school. So we should have some chickens hatching in about 20 days. And we'll have a live stream, but come visit our chickens. Not seagulls, chickens. So, that's it.
Okay, thank you. I feel like there's a story there, but let's talk later. Okay. Chief.
From our last process, we had one successful candidate, Tim Swartz. He'll be joining us April 20th. He comes from the Whitewater Police Department, so a veteran officer joining us, which will be nice. We're also midway through our current hiring process, as we're still looking to fill 2 positions. So we'll be doing some testing on that tomorrow and interviews the next couple of weeks. We had a instructor opportunity within house, as after Justin Geske left, we needed a defense and arrest tactics instructor. I do that. I don't want to do that anymore. So I wanted to open that up. So we have 2 officers that are going to be our future DAT instructors, Ryan Schneider and Toby Cook. We have an internal detective promotional process, as Detective Ryan Justice will be retiring this summer. So we have 2 internal candidates, Ryan Schneider and Jared Fish. So we'll have interviews taking place mid-May for that. And then the new detective will transition several weeks prior to Detective Justice leaving, so we have a little bit of a experience passing between the 2, since Detective Justice has been here 25-ish years. I was at the Youth Gathering Place on the 11th this month for a mini drug take-back event. Despite our pillbox out front, we still pulled 15 pounds that day just from residents, so still plenty of stuff out there. Just an aside, we are looking, I shouldn't say me as the police department, but the SSM Health is looking to provide a grant to cover the cost of a syringe collection point and we're looking to have that in our lobby. So there might be some movement of the current box to accommodate space for that, but the Youth Coalition is also working to get that into our lobby, which would be a great benefit to residents of the city, as those accrue quickly and it's quite expensive to unload those. Jack Swell's still pushing through in the academy. He's looking to join us on May 25th. He was sworn in a really mini ceremony, so once he comes from the academy, we'll have a bigger, grander event with invitations to all.
All right, thank you. All right, team building. I have one pick, but I was just thinking, Ryan, you've never picked one. If you want to pick one off the cuff, I'm putting you on the spot so you can say no. Team building, we all have to follow it.
Hi. Given the activities of this week, what has been probably the most interesting historical event that you guys have ever witnessed or seen? And I'm going to start off by saying probably the Artemis II mission has been absolutely fascinating to watch.
I would say watching the Berlin Wall come down. A buddy of mine actually sent me a piece. I was in Germany for 4.5 years, and to see that come down, to me, was life-changing. That you watched people being shot for trying to climb it, would have been shot trying to climb it the week before, and then people standing on it with sledgehammers. It was truly something spectacular for me.
And I'm personally fine with duplicates, by the way.
I definitely considered the Berlin Wall. That was definitely an event that sticks in my head. But I'll be a little different. The protests in Tiananmen Square. I was before my teenage years, I think, and I that's still burned in my brain. That happening. So.
Before I forget, when I Boy Scout camp, we had various activities, and one afternoon was just one activity. Camp, turned on the TV, and watched a man walk on the moon. That
Actually, if I could have a second. There was two things that really equal to me in my head when I think of it. It's a good question. 9/11. I remember turning the TV on, and I know, but I remember. They said you could do it, but I remember turning the TV on and seeing the first one burning and thinking, what kind of idiot flies into a tower? And that's when the second one went in, and I realized at that moment that was, and for me, after a decade break in service, that's when I went back into service. So for me, that one really, those two hit me equally.
I was leaving that for.
Somebody quick go before Ken does a third one, please.
Hold on a second. Actually,
That was what I was going to say. I remember exactly where I was. I mean,
I suspect we all remember where we were at that day.
Okay, I was gonna say 911 too, because I was on the West Coast and I had just moved there, but I'm not gonna say that one. Princess Diana died. When that happened, I remember just being glued to the TV, and I mean, who doesn't love royalty?
I'm gonna go with when the Challenger blew up, because I remember that being in the classroom, the TV getting wheeled out, and like like so many details of that day pinpointed in my brain. A tragic event.
I'm gonna say Artemis 2 because I was crying over TikToks all last night about it. Do you know that they had a piece of the Challenger in Artemis 2? They took it with them. How cool is that?
They also had a flag that flew on the first shuttle mission, the last shuttle mission, and also on a SpaceX mission. They also had the Apollo 8 flag that would have been planted on the moon, but didn't. And there was something. What was that? Part of the Wright brothers plane. That's right. Well, they've been in space for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Artemis too, also, because I had the opportunity probably about 8 or 9, well, probably closer to 10 years ago, of meeting Buzz Aldrin in person. And so that really was amazing. And my dad was a huge person with space exploration. So I grew up going to Kennedy Space Center many, many times and seeing rockets fly. So this is just kind of a full circle moment.
Well, I was gonna say 9/11.
Go ahead.
No, like what you said is exactly how I remembered it that day too. But so I guess I'll go sports. I'll go Robin Yount's 3,000th hit. Me and my dad were at that game.
I was at the 2000. I was a high schooler.
So I'll go, mine's 9/11. And kind of a personal, same thing with Ken because we were both in the service. I joined the military in 2000 before 9/11, and just the GI Bill, and it was peacetime. And so I remember watching 9/11 happen. And I knew at that moment my whole life was going to change. And before I know it, I'm the first invasion into Iraq. I was there in Iraq when they caused Saddam. I was near him, and then even be able to walk the halls of Babylon. Yeah, so many key points of my life that happened just because 9/11 happened, and it really formed my journey in my life and who I am because of it. So it really changed my entire world.
I was gonna say 9/11. I think my parents tried to shelter me a little bit from what was going on in the world at that time. But I do very, very like visually remember the beginning of the War on Terror, like the first invasions, watching that on TV. So while they sheltered me, I still knew what was going on. So
It's been said, not as eloquently as Derek said it, and my involvement is minimal, but I was in history class when they wheeled out the TV for 9/11, and that's probably been the most thing that has had a significant impact in my life, and really changed my view of the world because I was very naive, probably sheltered like Molly with my family and how I grew up. So that was a big moment.
Come on, Alien Nick.
I don't remember where I was during that.
Like I was 3 when 9/11 happened, and I don't remember 3 years. That happening anywhere.
Okay, our next meeting date is April 21st. In this next one, Ryan, this one's yours, please. 19.
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Second, and Trent, also thank you for stepping up and putting yourself out there. We appreciate you, buddy.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Hey. Always wanted to.
We still stand adjourned. Thank you.
Brian, for some reason,